Next pick.
We have lives
hat.
to live.
And let's say I believe that Jerry's pick will be the next one.
Let's hope so.
Yeah,
Let's
just wish
hope
it into
so.
existence.
And
What I did.
seriously, like, oh damn. Let's hope. Oh, come on. Come on. Another James pick.
There we go.
No, not James. Moshi this time.
Ah,
Monkey.
Oh,
It's
The
So
cat
the
gets
cat!
in before me.
yeah.
yeah.
He's asleep
It's-
the
behind
cat
me.
got picked before me.
That's fine. That's fine.
So we
is
have
What much you
Blag.
Oh, yeah, Blag.
Fogling. Fogling. I don't know how to pronounce it.
I asked Swedish friends, how the fuck do you pronounce this? And they went, yeah, that's not a Swedish word.
Oh,
Like they're a Swedish band. I don't know where the fuck the name either the name of, oh wait. No, I think it's the Fägring, I think, is a Swedish word, but Bleg is, I don't know how to pronounce that because apparently that's not a Swedish word. Anyway, yeah.
Blag is a deathcore language. Blag.
Yeah, exactly.
Or it's when your cat is like vomiting something. He's like, Blag.
That is Bleg. Yeah. Bleg. It's the sound that Abbat makes in Immortal.
Yeah,
After an
also,
epic
but
riff.
I think Moshi likes it a lot because like he's like, oh, it resembles when I vomit my fur.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so no, I this album came out I think fairly early this year. It was the fourth album in a cycle that was supposed to reflect the different seasons. So they started with summer and they've ended on spring. I think they've done a really good job of capturing the atmosphere of the different seasons on each of the albums. This is probably my favorite of the four. They're all quite different. It's really good. I mean, if you're into music that integrates sort of a little bit of traditional folk instrumentation with atmospheric black metal, it's really good. I think it's really well done. The songs are really well put together, very epic, but not epic in a sort of, because there's lots of different ways you can do epic in black metal. This is not epic in the way that that Storm Ruler does it, for example. This is still quite sort of underground. It's still got a little bit of the murky production, but yeah, really good for anyone that's into like a lot of the other bands that I end up, or Mochi ends up reviewing albums from. I would definitely check this out. Like, yeah.
All right. I've listened to it a little bit. I really like it. But yeah, I haven't like listened to it like a lot. I listened to one or two songs. Very good. I very like it. And I like also like it's talking about seasons. And I'm like, okay, very interesting. So yeah, I will listen to it more. And I really like the artwork too. The artwork is very good. So yeah, that's what I think.
It looks a little bit like one of the Nazgul from Lord of the Rings, but in springtime.
Yeah.
Sort of springtime Nazgul.
It's spring break for Nazgul.
I really liked it. How I don't like melancholy in my metal. This would probably be the only like an example of what I feel like melancholy works. Because there's just something, because the overall music itself is very black and heavy. I mean it's very interesting. I really like when you had Panopticon last year. That was really like a band I had never really heard of, and then going back into that discography and discovering all that, like that really brought me to a whole nother area of doom that I never really dove into before. So this was just like another one of those where it's like it's a whole other area of like black metal that I feel like I can really get behind. Very fantasy, in the way that it's presented, and I like that.
Yeah, I think it's a one artist project as well. A lot of these bands seem to be, but I think this is just one guy. I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. And
All
Jerry?
right.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I listened to a little over half of it, close to the end of the work day, and I enjoyed it. Yeah, um, I did enjoy the folk aspects. Sometimes when I see folk black metal, I don't really get into it as much. But yeah, I did enjoy the more traditional style uh, musical instruments that they included, and the artwork was really cool.
Hmm.
I
All
liked it.
right.
I enjoyed it.
All right.
All right.
So,
I looked it up. It's two people. Apparently.
Two people.
I got that wrong.
okay. Now, let's hope that Jerry's pick would be Joe's.
Let's go.
I w-
Come on.
Gotta be.
Okay, so let's shake it.
Come on, Halo effect.
Okay, so let's do it like very fast. I don't look at it. I look.
Show us
at-
your hands. Show us before you look at it. Show us.
Okay, so I don't know if we can see. Oh,
Aha!
it's a Jerry's
There we go.
pick!
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I wrote Breaths. Don't lie us third too long.
Yeah. That's like I said on the podcast, Matt's podcast. The title will take me the whole 2 minutes to say. But yeah, this one came out early in the year. It was one that I went back to quite often because it's one of those albums you can throw on and you don't necessarily have to pay attention to it. It's just kind of like sticks in the back of your head. It's one guy, Jason. He's been on the podcast with Matt already as well, and he's already working on another album. I think he's put out one in 21 and then one in 22, and there'll be one next year. Post black and some of that like gazy, dream poppy vocals. Most of the vocals are clean. He does scream quite a bit in it as well, but it's more chill, relaxing, kind of a vibe type music. It was the lyrics that really stuck with me because it was a lot of about his life, and there were some similarities in some of the stories that he was telling that I had as well. So I think that's why I took to it a lot more. And it was more I listened to it, the more I digested the lyrics, the more I was like, okay, this I have to fit this in my top 10. I wish it could have been higher because it was a really solid fucking album for being one man, and this is his second album. He used to live here in Texas, and he told me he played in local bands and whatnot, did like small amount of touring, but yeah, he's a fantastic musician. So
Yeah, I thought it was definitely interesting. I enjoyed it. It takes a little bit for me. It takes a little bit to kind of really get into the song "The Tormented." I remember I still had it on my playlist. It was one of the songs that I took out of the Brutal playlist and put on mine. I enjoyed that one a lot.
The only I think this was when I started going through all of the albums that you'd all recommended. I think this was one of the first ones that I went through. So the only notes I had have a depressive blackened sludgecore. Is that a thing? So I don't remember too much about it. But I just like but those are all all of the influences are stuff that I'm into. So I'm looking forward to going. I put it on my Bandcamp wish list. I'm looking forward to going back and listening to it a bit more. I like this. I like anything depressive, which is a worrying sign. But I like I don't know. I like the way that even though metal's been around for so long, there's always this capacity to inject in unexpected influences. So all this sort of dream pop influence is kind of cool to me, because in a way that sort of it in principle sort of fits with some black metal and stuff. But yeah, I'm keen to listen to the album a bit more.
All right. So, what I thought about it, I've listened to it when it was released, and it was very good. But it's been so long that I haven't listened to it that I don't remember much. But
January 21st, coming up on a year.
Yeah,
Maybe.
yeah.
So,
It's
like,
been out a while.
It's been out a while. So, but I know I've listened to it. I know because I have it in my phone because I bought it on Bandcamp. But I don't remember as much. But although, like, yeah, it's just, yeah, let's say that. But I've listened to it.
I do like I like to call this like sort of like a trap album, because you don't realize you're buying like a black metal album. Like if you just saw this at like a record store, you would just like, you'd probably be like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be so sick, bro!" Like it's probably like, you know, like every metalcore album. That's what it looks like. And then you buy it, and you're probably sitting there just going like you just get depressed instantly.
What have I done?
Yeah, the album cover is like some leaves and flowers and stuff. It's a really nice album cover.
Yeah, looks calm.
Yeah. No.
Then you get it, and then you realize you hate yourself.
Well, you get it, and it's a Jerry album, and you're like, fuck. He's done it again.
He's done it again. Snuck it in past everybody. Yeah, I wrestled with this one and that new Ninth Realm album. Their crossover from Virginia, I think Virginia or Maryland. And I was like, man, the music on Ninth Realm is really fucking good. But I was like, this Breath album is really fucking solid. I connect with it way more than I do the Ninth Realm. So I was like, Breath gets the 10th spot.
Mm-hmm.
I was just looking again at the album title, and I think that they could have actually called it "This album has turned out nothing like I expected, but it is better than I could have imagined."
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So, next one. And I think we'll do that. I will not. I will show it to you first, and then I will look at it.
How many we got left? We're down to like 2 more.
We have 3.
No.
Oh, okay.
3 more.
3 more. 3 more.
I
Because
can't count. That's why I had 2 number 7s on my original top 10.
You and Phil.
me and you. So, do you see it?
It's not focused yet.
Yatra!
Oh!
Yatra.
Yes! Oh! It's going to be complicated! Because it was the it was first on Evan's list and it was last on my list.
Wow.
I listen to this full album once a day.
Wow.
At least once.
I've
a day.
listened to it twice.
Yeah, look what's sitting here
Yeah.
on the desk. Yeah.
Yatra.
I got that when I saw them. I bought a shirt and like, here, take a sticker. I was like, all right, I'll take a sticker.
I'm gonna tell you, very, very few bands, sort of like always stick in my head. There's one, Clutch, and I have a tattoo of them. This is the next band I'm getting tattooed because it's the perfect, like for me personally, it's my sound. It's my perfect sound. There's something, it has the right amount of death. It has the right amount of doom. It has the right amount of black. It has the right amount, a little sludgy. And I just, across the board, like if I had a sound, that it sounds like how Yatra plays. It's just, I love it. I listen to it all the time. Since it came out, like I couldn't stop. And I really liked All Is Lost, but Death Ritual was really good too. And they just, like with this album, I don't know, it just clicks. Just all comes together. I love it. I love it. And then we saw him live, and I think that, you know, a lot of people are always like, oh my God, you know, like a 3-piece, like just playing, because, you know, everybody loves the high energy bands with the front man. Holy fuck. They were probably the best. They were probably the best act there. They were incredible. They had this tent, and you know, but like it was like people were lining up, and you could see like people were walking by or like going from wherever they were standing, and they were like running over when they were playing, because they just blew they blew everybody's minds that day. It was awesome.
It was fucking good. Like, it's a fucking good album, but the problem is I haven't listened to it a lot.
Problem is that Bill's a hater.
No! Shut up! I know you hate that I put it on number 10. I know it. I know you hate me for that.
Don't worry, these guys didn't put it on their list, so it's okay.
Yeah,
I'll forgive you.
For sure. Thank you. But yeah. No, but Born into Chaos, it's a fucking great album, and I cannot deny it. It's a fucking good album. But yeah, it just, and for me, the show was fucking insane. The show at RPM Fest this year, my God, it was so good. It was so good. But because I haven't listened to it a lot, that's why it's number 10. But yeah. The only reason. Jerry or James?
Yeah, I really enjoy all their work, and I echo Evan where this album seems like where it all came together, because they started off more doom sludge and then slowly started working the death metal in over those. They put out like 2 albums in 2021. So they kind of like started shifting then, and then this album, yeah, there's all those, like, there's black metal, there's death metal, there's sludge, there's doom. And it's a fantastic album. I think it's probably their best work, and it's definitely earworm music, because once we started talking about it, that opening riff to Born into Chaos just popped in my head, and just like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to listen to Yatra today or tomorrow. And see, yeah, I saw them live too in a small dive bar. There was probably like 30 people there. And they played like they were playing to 3,000 people, just full of energy, headbanging. The drummer is so fucking good live.
He's sick.
Yeah, I follow him on Instagram. He's always like, I think works on drums as a job, and he's always playing the kits that he's working on. I'm just like, God damn, this guy's so fucking good. Mm-hmm. And they're all really nice. I met a couple of them after their set because they played with some local bands, and one of the other local bands closed the show. And they are all really nice and appreciative, the support. So I was wearing a Vox&Hops shirt, and they were like, "Oh yeah, thank you for all the support." And blah blah blah. Gave me a free sticker and talked with me and shot the shit for a while. But yeah, they're a really good band, and I can't wait to see them. See where they go, because they're definitely hitting it on all cylinders right now. Because they're touring them in the Escuela Grind. It seems like they're always on the road.
Escuela Grind is another level of touring. They're like 200 Stab Wounds level of touring. Like, it's like the second they're done, they hop on another one.
Yeah, because I know Escuela's going over to Europe either like January or February. I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember who they're going with.
Yeah, they leave in January, then they go. Exhumed? Is that the Exhumed one?
They're on it with Exhumed right now.
Oh no!
I just saw them a week ago with Exhumed.
Yeah.
I can't remember who it is, but it's just like, Jesus, do you guys ever sleep?
No. That's actually an album that didn't pop up. Well, it's an EP. It didn't pop up on the list. But that was a hell of an EP, the Escuela Grind one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just saw them, like I said, a week ago, and pound for pound, she's one of the best vocalists out there, right? And she's not very big.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
the energy,
she kills it.
Yeah, she was just all over the stage, and I met her at the merch booth, and she's just as nice as can be, sweetest thing ever.
the energy of Escuela Grind.
If you just met her at the merch booth and like missed their set, you would have no idea she was the vocalist.
Mm-hmm.
This is how like quiet and soft spoken she was at the merch booth, and then she gets on stage and rips your fucking head off.
I saw them at RPM Fest. Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Fuck. Like even like I was with Drew, the brewer of Four Phantoms, and we were watching Escuela and we were like, holy fuck, it's so good. It's so fucking intense. And then like I was with other friends when Drew like decided to quit the fest. I was with other friends and we were like, oh damn, this is fucking good. But the problem is like the stage was very small and also the stage was at the same level than us. So like they are very little. Like the singer is very little. So she's small. But the thing is, people in front of her were fucking tall. So it was complicated to see them. But I snagged some pics and some videos. You can watch the vlog that I did for the Whispers. And yeah, Escuela Grind, fucking great discovery. That and Hive Smasher, that was fucking great.
Yeah.
Also. But yeah.
What do you think, James?
From what I've heard, from the bit that I've listened to, I really like it. And the more you guys are hyping it, the more that I need to listen to this properly. I think I sort of gave it a brief listen, and it was not an album that was on my radar when it came out. So so it's not, the fact that it's not in my top 10 has nothing to do with the quality of the album at all. The sound is right in the is right up my alley. I like the album, the track titles: Wrath of the War Master, Terminate by the Sword. These are Born into Chaos. This is very, very fucking Warhammer adjacent. I like their logo too, designed by Mark Riddick, apparently. Fucking awesome artist. Yeah.
Definitely, like, the opening riff of Omens of Fire. Just, dude, I don't know how you can't love that band and, like, just love what they did with this album. It's a fucking killer.
Yeah, no, I've put this on my wish list as well. I'm just definitely going to check this out. It sounds really cool.
Yeah.
I just can't say much about it because I haven't really listened to it.
All right. So,
Two more. Come on, we need a Jerry pick.
Is it in the right sense?
No. Yeah, that's a Jerry pick.
What is
Oh,
it?
yeah.
Garia.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. We talked about them a little bit earlier, and I think I called that they're going to be touring. Hopefully, I was like, I hope they come to North America. And next week they get added on the Rotting Christ, Carrick, Angren, Wada tour. I was just like, all right, hell yeah, I will definitely be at that. But yeah, this album, man, it's such a cathartic listen. These guys really know how to paint a super ominous and depressive atmosphere that just makes you feel like shit the whole time you listen.
Sounds fun.
And they're another one of these bands that's like this is their second release on Seasons of Mist, third overall, and they're just on fire. It's like everybody that likes black metal, even if it's like those black metal purists, really enjoy their sound and say, hey, these guys are one of the new faces in black metal. I love this album. I've really enjoyed every one of their albums. Their last album was on my top 10. That would have been in 2020? Their Season of Mist debut. Yeah, I can't say enough good things about these guys in this album.
2020 was Limbo, so
Okay, 2020 was Limbo. Yeah, that was their first season of Mist, and that one was, let's say, it was in my top 5 as well. This one was number 4, and on certain days it could have been my number 1. Like I said, my top 1 through 5 were all at some point possibly number 1 in my albums of the year. But yeah, this album absolutely fucking rips.
All right.
Yeah. So, I feel like I have to follow up from Jerry because he mentioned this album, I think, and he reviewed it, and I still didn't listen to it. And then I only listened to it after I saw it was on his top 10, and I'd already put together my top 10. And if there's a top 10 list of reasons why I was an asshole in 2022, sorry. This is on that list because if I'd heard this album before I put my list together, it would have been in the top 5. It's a fucking great album. It's really, really, really good, and I feel like I haven't given Garea enough attention in the past, and I probably would have had loads of opportunities to see them while I'd been living in Europe, and now I'm leaving, and I'm not going to get to see them. But that's life. I did see them on a live stream show, which was cool. But yeah, Jerry already said it. This album's fucking great. I think it's a good. It incorporates some elements of sort of modern, more modern black metal, or probably even some elements of sort of post black metal stuff. But black metal purists will like this as well. It's killer.
All right.
Incredible riffs, incredible energy. All the stuff that Jerry said about making you feel terrible. I mean, that's, for me, it was just like listening to a regular album, but it would probably make lots of other people feel terrible.
The vocals on this are insane.
Yeah.
He just sounds like he's just a tortured soul in the seventh circle of hell.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
Yeah, I would say that I remember when I first heard Limbo. That was when Jerry dropped it on our laps, and that was fantastic. And then this Mirage was just another absolutely fantastic record. Seasons of Mist, that's a good, I feel like that's just like a perfect little label for them. But really what I appreciate them for is for Oak, because I believe members of that band are Oak. And I really love me some Oak. I could listen to that for days. So I think that it's really cool that, and they're like, if you think about it, they're just two different ideas in the same genre for the most part, and that kind of craftsmanship and attention to detail and love for it is incredible. And so these guys are definitely probably going to be like one of the next staples when it comes to like black metal going forward. What they're able to create, because it's like left and right they have stuff pouring out of all orifices, so it's really, really cool.
I'll be honest, like a lot of album on this, I haven't listened to it.
Yo, when the hosts aren't listening.
Yeah. What the heck? Sorry. I'm so
what the
sorry.
Hell? You're supposed to do your homework this week.
Yeah, I should have done it. But sorry, I was on a beer trip. So,
no, this is great. This is what I was like last year, and now I'm not that guy. This is wonderful. I'm loving this.
But yeah, let's say it would be a resolution for the 2023. I would try to listen more and take more notes. That's my
50
resolution.
albums you have to listen. 60.
Yeah, something like this. All right.
Last pick. I think we have a pretty diverse list going on here.
Yeah.
Oh, one is out. It would be the one.
Uh-oh. That means Phil put Devin Townsend on the floor. So
oh no, he's put fucking 20 Devin Townsends in there.
Oh no.
Another
A
one for me.
cod.
A cod.
It's Jerry's pick, right?
Yeah, that was number 7, I believe.
Fourth
For me.
rank over Obesities and Beyond. Right from the start, I haven't listened to it. I'm sorry, Jerry.
I think you'll like. I think you will like it because it's very similar to, not as symphonic as Seth from last year, but there are some similarities because they're both from France. But it's they're labeled Black Death Thrash, and all those are in there. And this was one I listened to the first time. I was like, yeah, this is pretty solid. But I went back. I kept going back and back. And there was something about it that just kept drawing me back. There's a lot. It's pretty much blackened thrash, but not as like speed blackened thrashes that's become more popular here lately. The vocals are fantastic on this album, and they incorporate some symphonics here and there. It's not overdone and doesn't drown anything out. It's in the background, and it just accentuates the songs. But yeah, it's a fucking ripper, and I wish it could have been higher on my list, but this year was so fucking difficult to piece anything together. And this is their fifth album, and they've just increasingly got better and better from the listens to some of the older stuff. But yeah, this album absolutely just rips you apart.
It's it's an interesting listen in a good way. It does its own things. I instantly thought of Step from last year for you, Jerry. I appreciate the rebranding that they did. Like if you go back, I'm just looking at some of their albums right now, but back in like 2012, when they first started, to even like going into like 2018, like I feel like that they did a lot of I don't know if I would say searching, but like they really sort of refined a little bit like what they were trying to achieve. And you can kind of just see it, like even just like in the album covers, the way that the name is drawn up. They just really kind of, for whatever reason, for one thing or another, I think sometimes bands they'll just flip a whole page, and it just like tends up being like a whole, I mean, you could talk about In Flames being one of those bands. Like they just do like a whole whoop, and they just kind of go off in a completely different direction. I mean, I wouldn't say they went off in a, like they went right instead of left, but they definitely changed some things and made it more. I would assume what they want, and I mean it was very. I love the album cover, but it's very
the album cover is awesome.
Yeah, it's very awesome. Great listen.
I listened. I only I hadn't. This album hadn't been on my radar at all until it came up in Jerry's top 10. I listened to it a bit. Black and death metal. I liked it from what I heard. There's some slap bass on this. I noticed,
yes.
which was
groovy.
You don't get a lot of slap bass in black metal. Probably, which is probably a good thing. But I like slap bass. I'm not sure if I like it in black and death metal, but they're doing their own thing. No, I liked it as well. I didn't listen to it a lot, but I liked what I heard. And that album art is super cool as well. Like, compelling. Like, I feel like album art has sort of come around recently. I think because more people are buying vinyl as well. Because for a long time, album art just didn't matter. And also album art just went through a period where most bands seem to have terrible album art. Now it's really, it's important again. You have these, big artists that are doing lots of stuff, and this is really good. I wish I collected vinyl because I can only imagine how good this would look in a large format.
Yeah, I feel like album art has become hugely important, especially for the story that's portrayed within the album and the songs. You need something that reflects now what your your image. And this is just another example of like you can see it. Like you can listen to the music and you can look at the album cover and you can feel it. Like you can see the landscape and you can see everything incorporated. And I feel like that also like goes to like what makes an album great. And I think that like the artists now, like people probably started like going, because if you're a label, you probably get your recommended like artist, or it goes to another department or whatever the fuck. And I feel like now you have bands that will just kind of like find their own artists. You have the Instagram was like really good for this. It's like out of nowhere you could start seeing artists on Instagram, hit them up, be like, hey, do this, like this is what we want, and then they come out and they have like these crazy, they're trying to put themselves out there. It's a whole crazy thing. So it's definitely helped two communities shine again. All right, well, Phil didn't listen to it.
I'm sorry.
So now we have our 10.
Yeah.
Our previous 1 to 5 was Hath, Sky Pig, Cruise, Soam, and Moontooth. Now we're gonna add Bleg, Bretz, Yatra, Guerra, and Akkad. So let's start by going down. We're going to go from number 10 to number 1. So
it's tough for me because
our number 10 album. I already know what you guys are going to say. So I might as well just say it. Moontooth, I believe, is where everyone wants that to be. So that's listen, that's fine. That's fine. You guys don't like milk chocolate. That's all you're telling me.
I like milk.
Okay.
I like milk
Okay.
chocolate, but I just don't like that. No.
Got a lot of dark chocolate lovers in here, so
I feel like that's more white chocolate than milk chocolate.
no, I can get down with some white chocolate. I get a nice. I go to Dunkin's. I get a nice toasted white chocolate coffee. I listen to my Moontooth. I'm like.
Moontooth is more of a pumpkin coffee kind of a sound.
Hey, I have pumpkin. I had my pumpkin.
I know,
Yeah.
that's why I mentioned.
I'm like the death metal Karen. All right, I just this is what I say. All right, number 9. Number 9. Previously number 4 was Soam. I would say number 9 is still Soam.
Number 9 is Soam.
That's what I would.
I
agree. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. So I feel like those are probably the 2 easiest ones, considering that they are also the 2 that are way out of left compared to sort of where all the other ones sort of stand. So
yeah, for real.
Next up, for number 3, we had Cruise. So at number 8, I would say.
I wouldn't say they're down that far.
I think they could be higher, but I put them at like number 3 on my top 10, so I'm biased.
I would put Brett's at number 8.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree with that.
I agree too. Even though like Breath, I haven't listened to it a lot. I agree that they are number 8. Because it's more in the vibe of Soam and Moontooth in a way. So even though it's black metal, I think it fits.
Now we get difficult. Number 7.
Yatra.
I say
Evan really is ready to fight him.
I say Akkad.
That's where I had them, was number 7.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't be upset, but I will argue it may be slightly better than Cruise. But that's again my bias.
I mean,
I don't know. You really.
We're getting-
I was
We're
like,
gonna get
for
the
the first.
Aussie riled up here.
No, for the first three.
He's gonna
Oh,
get mad.
an Aussie and a Texan. This is great. For the first three, I was like, oh, isn't it nice? We're all so collegial and getting along. And then you're like, we should put Cruz at number 7. And I'm like, I can't be doing that.
What's
I
your
don't
argument?
know. I don't. Well, I think that, I mean, we've only got. I think that Cruz. I think that we've only got one. I think we've only got one old school death metal album in the list. But I think that for me, like, Cruz is really like is a great demonstration of how to do, because there's so many old school death metal bands out there now. I think that Cruz is a good demonstration of how to do the genre really right, with the right sound, but also good energy. Because a lot of it is it has the sound, because the sound is relatively easy to recreate these days, but it's sort of lost in this mass that all has this HM2 overdriven guitar sound. I really like the energy of Cruz, but it's hard for me to argue, because I can't argue against a COD because I just didn't listen to the album enough. So if Cruz is at number 7, then it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm like I said, I wouldn't be upset if the COD was number 7, because I do agree with it's OSDM, but it's like stands out from the like pretty much copy paste OSDM that's out there. It's fun. It's fun, and where most OSDM that you get nowadays, like there's a dime a dozen.
Yeah.
And this one, I think, stands above that. So I'm good with the COD at 7.
Okay. So
A
a
COD
COD 7.
That's 7. All right. Number 6.
6.
Can we
Well, I mean, I guess we could put Cruz there, but maybe.
But I would put Blag. I don't know why. Because, like,
Black,
of what
I
I
mean-
heard, the opinions of people on Blag, of what I heard, like, on this episode, it's just, like, I don't know. Like, I haven't heard that much of, like, I heard good things, but compared to the other ones, I don't know why. I would put Blag 6. I don't know why.
I could agree with that. It was something. It
probably
was
put it
good. It
6.
was good, but it wouldn't. It's not something. It's something I'd have to be in the mood for.
Yeah, that's what I think, too. I think we could put Blag at 6.
That's a really good point, because with the Cruz album as a point of comparison, I could put that Cruz album on anytime.
Yeah.
And I'd be happy with the Blag album. Less so, and it's not. It's also like Cruz. The tracks are they're quite short. They're really digestible. They've got good energy. Blag is a bit more of a commitment, because some of the tracks are super long, very atmospheric and stuff. So yeah, I think that's a fair.
Okay, so
Fair
Blag
position.
Blag is number 6.
So now we have broken the top 5. For the
Top
remaining
5.
For the remaining, we have Skypig, Hath, Cruz, Yatra, and Guerra.
Pretty good top 5.
It's a pretty decent top 5. Now, number 5. I would put Skypig number 5.
I thought about it.
Yeah.
I thought about it because, like, Skypig was number 2 because of Half, but yeah, with all the good albums that are on there, I think I would put Skypig number 5.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think
Okay.
now that I know who Skypig is.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I know the pig that floats on the Pink Floyd album. That's the only pig that I know.
That is the Sky Pig. There's only one Sky Pig. They just named the band after that pig, I assume.
It's
All
Pink
right.
Floyd.
Number 4.
Oh,
So what is it? It's Hath, Garea,
Yatra,
Cruise and
Cruise.
Yatra.
Yeah.
It's probably Cruise at this
Yeah,
point.
I would say.
I guess.
I
Yeah.
would say so. Yeah.
I would say Cruise too.
All right. So now top three. Top three, we're probably gonna have to fight. I'm telling you right now, we're gonna have to throw hands.
Okay, like for now, for me, half is first. Like I cannot argue without half. Is first.
Yeah. For me, half is tops. It's like I said recently. It was my most anticipated album, and it did not disappoint. It's probably up there with White Ward as my most listened to album, because I love that White Ward album, and I'm with James.
Yeah.
I don't care about the whoa part. Matt's in his corner with that one. Like I enjoy like that because like they did that, and then it went into that really like fast riff after that, and just like took the songs like took off. But yeah, half is number one for me. For three, I would argue Yatra for number three.
Jerry, we're gonna have to fight, dog.
I would agree, but only because I think that Garea should be number one.
I actually, you know
but
what?
I'm not gonna get
what I
that.
was
I
gonna
know I'm
say
not
is,
gonna get
I actually agree that Garea should be number one as well.
Oh, I haven't listened to it, so I don't know why you want to hurt my feelings, Evan.
The thing is like if I had to do it, it would be like Hath 3, Yatra, yeah.
Okay, fuck it. Top 11.
You know what, Evan? Let's form an alliance.
Let's form an alliance
to get Garea number one.
and I could see that as well. I feel if Garea had came out earlier this year, it could have been my top one. It was a later submission, so I didn't get to spend. Even though I did review it and listen to it quite a bit, that'd be my only argument against it. But I mean, I think these are three great fucking albums I've listened to quite a bit this year, because I bought the physical of Yatra, the Born into Chaos, at the show, and I think it was in my CD player in the car for a couple of weeks before I was like, okay, I love this album, but I need to listen to something else now. I think even my daughter was like, can we listen to something else on the way to school? So.
I would say that my argument would be that, well, I want Yatra to be number one, but obviously I don't think it meets, as much as I love it, it's my personal thing. I don't think it meets the other two.
Yeah. I would put Yatra number two.
I would put Yatra number two, but the reason that I put Hath lower, and I can feel Frank's eyes from like New Jersey just like staring at me. Like I feel like every time I say it, a tick goes off in his head, and he's just like, you know what I mean? But
the disturbance in the force.
Yeah, but I think that given what Guerra does, it's almost like seamless. Like they had this seamless transition into like their second, we'll say their second album, quote unquote, under Seasons of Mist. And there's something like from hearing Limbo to hearing Mirage, like it's everything you want and hope in everybody's sophomore album going forward. And there's just so many boxes that they hit. And it's not that Hath didn't hit them, but I think they just hit them harder.
Okay. You know what? On this one, I think even if my feelings are hurt right now.
You've let the whole vibe.
I'm someone that is very
virtual fists.
You've hurt the whole Vox&Hops Thursday crew.
But
Jerry is hurt.
But like, I think everyone agree that Guerrilla should be first. So
yeah, I
agree that we put Guerrilla first. But now the problem is, do we put Yatra second or Half second?
I will, as much as I think that Garea deserves to be first, but I will say that that Hath is the only it's the only band that all of us had in our top 10. So kind of by definition, it should actually probably be first.
That would be that was what I was thinking too. Is like we all had it.
I know I'm compromising on my because I didn't have Guerrea in my top 10 at all because I hadn't heard it. But we all love Hath. We all love that Hath album. We've all heard it. We've all heard it a lot. We all put it in our top 10.
All right. Number 1, Hath.
Okay, but
put it down. Keep it.
If we had a problem, I know we could put another album.
An 11th album.
I would say I would say we'll do Yatra third, Guerra second, Hath first.
That sounds.
I
good
agree
to me.
with you.
I agree with that.
I died a little inside, but that's okay.
Yeah. I was over here just like.
Hey, I'm already dead inside because Devin Townsend. Hey, I'm already dead inside because Devin Townsend wasn't picked. So
I'm glad Devin Townsend wasn't picked because you would have left.
Fuck you.
I mean,
it would have been a very difficult conversation to have if Devin Townsend was in the top 10, but we didn't want to have him at number 1.
It's borderline an intervention at that point.
So you know what? I want to add something funny. Let's do honorable mention random.
A random honorable mention. All right, just pick a
but
random one.
We don't rank it. We just I just pick 5 albums randomly.
Your need to have 11 albums is very scary.
No, it's just honorable mention. It's not in the top. I just have 5 albums in my hand. Look, those paper. I have 5 paper in my hand.
All right, pick one. Pick one. Honorable mention.
Just one. Werewolves. From the cave to the grave.
Those guys just don't stop.
I just saw
I will not put it in my top.
They just finished number 4 and working on starting the drum track on 5.
Jesus.
The second honorable mention is Diallo Effect.
Yes.
You mean Proper In Flames?
Yeah. If In Flames had not gone off in their radio rock.
The third honorable mentions is Immolation, Acts of God.
Yo, you just don't like Jesus, brother.
Yeah.
The fourth is Ataraxy, The Last Mirror.
I forgot how fucking good that album was.
Yeah.
Like that was an early album too, and I listened to that one this week. I was like, God damn, this one's so good.
The fifth one, it's not a Devin Townsend album. It's Bloodbath, Survival of the Sickest.
Oh, fuck.
All right.
But yeah, it's not in the rank. It's not in the top. I will not count it as a top. It's just honorable mention because I wanted to have more than 10 albums.
to wrap up our we'll say random pick top 10. Moontooth at number 10. Number 9 is Sohm. Number 8 is Brett's. Number 7 is Akkad. Number 6 is Bleg. Number 5 is Sky Pig, which honestly is probably like the shout out album of the year because that one just like comes out of nowhere. Cruise is number 4. Number 3 is Yatra. Hurts my soul a little bit, but we'll get over it. Number 2 is Guerra, and number 1,
Hath.
Hail Hath, baby. All that was promised.
Motherfucking Hath.
It delivered all that was promised.
It did.
It really did.
They promised something and they deliver it.
They delivered. So guys, I wanna thank all of you for your time. Phil for putting this on. I wanna thank Jerry and James for your wealth of infinite knowledge and just being you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, yeah, it's a pleasure. I was hoping we were going to do this again this year. It was great last year. It's a lot of fun.
Real quick, we're going to wrap up with some shout-outs. Albums coming up, bands you heard this year. Mine is Skypig. I just want to shout out Skypig because I think that's one that everybody at least needs to hear once. because
Well-
you wouldn't believe that it's at what it is.
Well, my shout out, it's a James album. It's Nostalgia. Au milieu de l'hiver.
Yeah.
Because like yesterday I was like driving in the snow because it was a big snowstorm, and it's not a big snowstorm, it was a little bit of snowstorm. We were like ending up the 5th brewery that we did, me and my friend, and we were on the road, and she was like, hey, can I pick a song? And I was like, okay, go on my YouTube music and just pick whatever you want from the download section. And she was like, I like this one. And I see it's Nostalgia. I was like, oh, you got good taste. So Nostalgia au milieu de l'hiver for me.
See, you're able to pronounce it properly as well, which is even better.
Au milieu de l'hiver. Very Québécois pronunciation.
All right, shout outs for me. I don't know if this is an album or an EP because the tracks are kind of long, but it's only 4 of them, so I guess it's an EP. Is the new Kralis, which is really, really good. I mean, they've put out, I think this is like their 12th album or something like that, but it's really really good. A little bit different from their normal output. So the New York sort of I don't know, avant-garde sounds like a wank, but experimental black metal band from New York. The new album Psychagogue is really good, a little bit more atmospheric, lots of keyboards. If you like the Memoria albums from Bloodhouse Nord, that's really good. And a non-metal recommendation is the new album by my boys in Crutches, crust band from Sweden. If you like incredibly angry short songs in a language you don't understand, then that's what you fucking go for. Great bunch of fucking guys as well. Absolute mad bastards, but wonderful.
For me, mine was an EP. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but it's Hamar. They're from Indiana, and when we talked with the crews, the energy, this EP just has immense energy. It's kind of like if Gatecreeper and 200 Stab Wounds had a child. It's got that HM2 buzzsaw that Gatecreeper does, but it's like the fast-paced death metal with hardcore influences that 200 Stab Wounds does. I would say if it had been an album, it probably would have been number 1 over half. I will not. That was my most listened to EP. I've been bugging them for months, asking them when are they going to put it on Bandcamp, because it's on Spotify, but they still have it on pre-order only on Bandcamp, and they've said they've had a tough time getting everything on that side going, but they said soon they'll be dropping it on Bandcamp and hopefully doing physicals. So I told them I would buy a CD if they do that.
Buy 7 CDs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe the title is called Sapience and Anguish. Yeah,
Cool.
they fucking rip. I can't wait to see if they continue. I don't know if it's just a side project of other bands or if it's something they're gonna actually do, because they've played a few shows here and there. But yeah, that's my shout out. Is Hamar.
Hammer. I've got a
Hamarr.
Of course, the canonical spelling.
Awesome. Well, guys, as always, thank you. It was a great year for metal. It was a great year for us. And I can't wait for the next one. It's going to be fucking even better.
That's
Yes,
right.
indeed.
All right. Well,
All right, dudes.
this has been Whispers from the Void. Thanks for tuning in. Phil?
So it was Evan, Jerry, James, and I'm Phil. Thanks for the wonderful year. Thanks for everything, people. And see you on the next year. Cheers.
Fuck. Bye.
Fuck. Ah!